In the last video, we talked a little bit about how spirituality has the potential to block the law of attraction. And in this video, I want to take it a step further and actually talk about a couple of terms that we use in the spiritual community and also give an example. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Dylan and I help to raise the vibration of the planet. Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about your spiritual ego, spiritual bypassing, and how if you're doing and participating in these things in your life, they will actually hinder your experience and they will actually perpetuate what you're trying to avoid. So this is all about shadow work and taking a look at within, and this is about blocks that actually block your manifestation from coming and from being on your highest timeline. So let's talk about the spiritual ego. The spiritual ego is basically like, oh, I can't do that anymore because I'm too spiritual. But the thing about it is, you really want to do the thing, and it doesn't hurt yourself or anybody else, but you can't do that anymore because I'm too spiritual. See, I've had this come up for me a lot in my life. One of the biggest areas that this comes up is, or that it doesn't come up anymore because I don't care anymore, but with rap music. I love rap music. I've listened to rap music forever. It's came up a lot with that. I've thought in the past, now that I'm on the spiritual path, I can't listen to rap music. Or it comes up a lot with food too, with me. Like, oh, do I have to be vegan now that I'm spiritual? Like, what? And there's a balance with all things. Of course, if I listen to gangster rap 24/7, that would, probably not be the best. And also if I ate all pizza, that wouldn't be the best. But what I'm saying is, you're not too spiritual to have your own belief system. And it's all about going within. Like for me, like I'm a human. I enjoy my earthly experience. I know I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And yes, thank you very much. I'm going to listen to some rap music and I'm going to eat some pizza. But I'm also going to eat my greens and I'm also going to meditate. And this is okay to be this round type person, this wholesome, balanced type person. So that's what the spiritual ego is. And the funny thing about the spiritual ego is that it's ego when it's coming, when it produces lack, when it's coming from lack, and when it produces lack in your life, because it says, oh, I shouldn't do these things anymore because I'm on this higher plane, but not allowing yourself to have that experience is actually coming from a plane that's down here. So you're really not up here like you think you were. And then also too, like, we can get in, like, I've been on diets before, I've done that stuff, and it's all good. I support whatever the individual does that contributes to their health and well-being. But when it comes from a place of lack, that might be something that we need to take a look at. And I've been on diets before, and I've, caught myself judging others, and so on and so forth. And so that's what the spiritual ego is. Let's talk a little bit now about spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing, I'm going to go out on a limb here and define this. I've made up this definition in my head. Spiritual bypassing is when we do not allow ourselves to have a human experience which will ultimately clear some karmic debt and or rise us up the ladder of ascension. Let's talk about it with an example. It's really easy to spiritual bypass in the area of relationships. And one experience that I've had with spiritual bypassing is when I have listened to my friends, someone that was closest to me at the time, telling me I shouldn't be with this person, and I would just listen to them for the sake of them and me not really understanding why. And so, and not allowing myself to have that human experience even though I wanted to. That's spiritual bypassing. So I wanted to have this experience with this person over here. My friend told me not to because she wasn't good for me. And I listened to him and said, oh, okay, cool. He's spiritual. I trust him. That's spiritual bypassing. If you feel drawn to go over here and be with this person, then there might be some kind of karmic debt, some kind of soul contractual relationship that you needed to figure out. Because see, what happens is things might get shitty with this person over here, but what it ends up doing is it ultimately ends up teaching you a lesson which will skyrocket you up the ascension ladder. And so when you're just like, oh, nope, can't be with that person anymore, it's all love and light. I heard Matt Kahn say that on a video the other day. That's all I have in my head, so I had to think of like a tangible example for this. But that is what the dealio is. Like, I ultimately went and figured that out, and I did rise up the ascension ladder because I'm stubborn. But also there was that thing in me that was like, it doesn't make sense to not go over here right now. Like, for some reason, I know, I can sense that it's not a good thing, but at the same time, I want to go over there. And so that's spiritual bypassing, man. Now, mind you, there's a lot of deep and very important lessons in this, but it's important that you, the listener, use your own discernment to find out if you're actually in one of these scenarios or not. And it's really important because a lot of these scenarios that may be spiritual bypassing, if we go and do the thing, it could, cause us some harm. So I don't want to advise anybody to go and do anything that's going to hurt them. So please use your own discernment. I don't want to have anybody do anything that's going to hurt them more than that needs to be. There will be, some pain in life, and that ultimately rides us up the ascension ladder. But I wouldn't want to steer anybody off of their own path, So as always, use your own discernment with these things. But this video, again, has been about how some spiritual concepts such as the spiritual ego and how spiritual bypassing can actually slow your ascension journey and can block your manifestations and can block you from actually clearing old baggage. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment and let me know what you thought of this video. As always, I will check you on the next one. Peace.